ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So Hare Krishna, welcome to all of you for today's Bhagavad Gita session. It's a last session. So tomorrow onwards we'll be getting new teachers. So because I have some other busy work, so I'm not able to take class for next chapter. So I'll be trying to finish this chapter today. Okay, so let's come for our discussion. So what's happening? So who will explain till here quickly? One will explain. Yes, Punyashlok Prabhu, please start the beginning so we can do a little marathon. We'll reach our target place. Prabhu, can you unmute it?
Oh, Krishna, sorry, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji, sorry.
Pranam, Prabhu, yes.
So, Prabhuji, just a summary. End of chapter 7, verse 29-30. Lord used certain terms which Arjuna wanted clarification, and that's how chapter 8 starts. He's clarifying 6 terms, plus he wanted to know that how one can remember Krishna at the time of death.
Yes.
Then Lord Krishna...
One can, not remember.
Or not
can...
sorry, the exact was... know you. How can one know you at the time of death? That's what. So then Lord Krishna explained that the 6 terms were Brahman, Adhyatma, Karma, Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, and Adi Ajna. And the 7th question discuss how to know him. So Brahma, the indestructible living entity. Adhyatma, we discussed 2 ways, that it can be both the actual, the subtle body or the nature of the soul, but also what we also read in the verse, it's actually the living entity. The eternal nature of the living entity is the eternal servant of the Lord.
Yes.
So from both angles, we can see that. And then karma is the actions which bind one to the cycle of birth and death. And they can be and vikarma. So either one of them performed, which binds us. There are 8,400,000 species of life. One gets entangled. So that's karma. Then Adibhuta is the ever-changing material manifestation, because there's nothing permanent in this material world. Even the body goes through the 6 changes.
Yes.
Then Adidaiva is one who presides. So that's the you can say the Virat Rupa of the Lord, with the 14 planetary systems on the top, Lord Brahma. So these planetary systems there, along with the demigods who are made in charge, who govern on behalf of the Lord, combined is called Adidaiva.
Yeah, Adidaiva, here why we are saying Virat Purusha, what sense, what we desire. So mainly we want to say, so instead of saying all the controlling demigods of the various senses, so we are saying the combined way as a Virat Purusha. So here the sense of saying, what is the sense of saying the Virat Purusha is? So Devatas, the complete, so all the total, all the Devatas. To say that, so this word here, Virat Purusha is used. And you can say like this, first Adi, Adhyatmam and Adi Daivam you will be explaining first. Adhyatmam means it's a nature, that means the subtle body, or otherwise spiritual nature. So anything you can take, that is the nature, Swabhavam. Adhyatmam means, so that is possessed by that means Jivatma. Jivatma is claiming that these senses are mine. And so that's why because of false ego it is claiming. So that means all the senses are, subtle senses are known as, so Adhyatmam, and in those senses those senses are controlled by the demigods, that is known as Adidaivam, which are nothing but the Virat Purusha here we are indicating. And these two are accommodated in where? In Adibhutam, that is the gross body. So yeah, okay, bro.
And then
next, karma. What is karma?
So karma we discussed, Prabhu, the activities which entangles, yeah. So then Adi Bhuta also.
Karma is the one which decides the gross body for the living entity. Yes.
And Adi Bhuta, we discussed the ever-changing material manifestation or material nature. And then Adi Daiva we discussed, he explained more nicely, Prabhu. And then Adi Yajna is Lord is saying, I, the super soul, resides along with in the heart of the living entity.
Arjuna asked that how Adi Yagnam, that means he is belonging to the Yajnas, but how he is staying in the body. Then Krishna is answering that Adi Yagnam is staying in the body in the form of Paramatma, Antaryami. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So I will take from others. So next, we'll continue from here. Anyone wants to continue from
what
here?
Is your question? What is your question?
We are marathon. We are doing the marathon of covering the till here, the 8th chapter. So from the 5th sloka onwards. Fifth sloka is answer for what? Yes, Shampriya Mataji, carry on from.
Prabhu, as Arjun asked, Prabhu, is I am audible?
Yes, you are audible, Mataji. So 5th sloka onwards, you should carry forward.
As Arjuna.
Yeah.
Arjuna asked Krishna how a person can remember you at the time of death, how a person can know you at the time of death. And then Krishna is telling that through smaranam, remembrance, one can know him at the time of death. So that is in the 5th verse.
Yes.
Then in the in the 6th verse, again Krishna is telling that whatever state one remembers at the time of death, he will attain that state without fail. In the 6th verse, again Paranam he is stressing. And then 7th also, he's telling Arjuna that you can always think of me doing your prescribed duties in the 7th. And from 8th onwards, Yog Mishra Bhakti is starting.
Why actually? So you have to give the few more connection and more feel of this sloka. So So that means in the yes, you said rightly the fifth one. That means at the time of the death, how one will be knowing the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, that is through the remembrance. So that is through the remembrance one will be knowing, and so by that they are reaching, by remembering the Krishna at the time of death, they will be reaching to the Krishna's abode. That is said in the fifth sloka. So that means what is the general science? The science is at the time of death, whatever we discuss, whatever we remember. So based upon that remembrance only will be getting the next destination. So this is
And
the general idea he gave in the sixth. So that means what is the importance from this we are understanding? The remembrance at the time of the death is really very crucial in our life, because we are whole life we are preparing to die actually, and at that time, so whatever we remember, so that based upon that remembrance will be getting the next destination. So that's why ultimately remembrance is very important thing. So from this 5 and 6 we understood. Yes, next, for that
yeah,
what he is saying.
for that seventh, he's again telling about that even by doing your prescribed duties, you can remember me. In
Yeah,
the
that's
seventh.
why he is saying that, my dear Arjuna, so remembering me is the really the final success actually.
Yes.
So real success means remembering Krishna at the time of the death. So that is the highest achievement. So for that you should do the practice. So that's why Arjuna, when you do, of course you are doing some prescribed duties based upon your varna, but you have to what? You have to always remember me while performing your fight also. So that's why Mai Arpita Mano Buddhir Mame Vaishyasi Asamshayaha. So by submitting your mind and intelligence in me, and by remembering me all the time, so you can reach me. There is no doubt in that. Yes.
Yes. And from eighth, he's now starting to discuss Yog Mishra Bhakti.
Yes.
That is yoga along with the bhakti. That is Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti, because there is remembrance along with the yoga. So that's
Why
why
Krishna
Krishna
has to discuss the Yoga Mishra Bhakti here? Anyway, Krishna is discussing Yoga Mishra Bhakti from 9th onwards, but 8th, what he is saying?
He's telling about he who meditates is.
In 8th sloka, what he is saying?
I don't know what he says.
Yeah. Okay.
He's telling that he who meditates on me, his mind constantly
sloka,
engaged in remembering these, is sure to reach.
What? 1 second, Mother. So in 8th sloka, he is saying that the importance of practicing remembrance. Abhyasa yoga. Yoga means what I said. It is a practice of remembering again and again. It is a practice of remembering Krishna again and again. He is known as yoga. So he is emphasizing that. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. That means, oh my dear Arjuna, so you practice, one has to practice of remembering me again and again. So that is known as yoga actually. So by that yoga one will be, so what, will definitely reaching me at the finally. So this is the thing he is mentioning in this. So that's why
from the ninth
that's why
verse.
now he is going to how to do that yoga. That means how to practice so that means remembering of Krishna, how to practice that. Then we need to know that process. Then that process is explained in the 5 slokas, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, Yog Mishra Bhakti is explained. And in the ninth verse, Krishna is telling that the person whom you have to remember should have all these qualities, like Kavim, Puranam, Anushahasitaram, and
Kavim Puranam
as he explained,
Anoraniyan.
And Anushashit. He should have all these qualities. Shall I explain the qualities also, Prabhu?
Quickly, if you do, then it is saving time, so you can.
Yeah. First, he's telling that whom to remember. Who has these? He should have these qualities. First is Kavim. That means Sarvagya. He should be knower of everything. Then he's telling Puranam, who is existing forever. And then Anushashataram, one who teaches bhakti out of mercy. And
No, like
then
that you should say
you
Kavi.
tell the point that
Kavi means Sarvagna. So can it be that means Sarvi? If we say
yeah,
why can't he stop here itself? But it
yeah,
can be the Sanakadi Rishis
yeah,
also. So then he added the one more
yeah. It
Visheshana.
can be the Sanakadi Rishi
And then
also.
he added one more
Yeah,
Visheshana, that is
yeah.
Puranam.
It can,
So by saying that Puranam, that
yeah,
means who is eternally existing, that then the Sanakadi Rishis are eliminated. But then in
yeah.
the picture who is coming, then Paramatma
Elevated.
is
Then
coming.
Paramatma is added.
No,
Paramatma
Paramatma is
is
not
both
added.
Kavim
That
and
means
Puranam.
this condition is satisfying the Paramatma. So, but Lord's intention is not Paramatma. So then what? Anushastharam he added. What is the meaning of Anushastharam?
Anushasitaram.
So that
Yeah,
means
one
the
who
one who
teaches
teaches,
bhakti out of mercy.
one he teaches his, teaches about his own devotion. That is Krishna or the Rama and so on. So that's
Okay.
why by adding the adjective Anushasitaram, even Paramatma is also eliminated. And
Yes.
finally, who is? So it is indicating the person, that is Krishna.
Sure.
So that is the point he said. And auto, what more quality? Anuraniyan. That means
Anuraniyam
he
and
is the smallest. And also he is, that means
Anushasitaram.
Achintya Rupa. Achintya Swarupam. He is having the it's a very inconceivable form, and Sarvasya Dhataram, that means is a maintainer of everyone. And that kind of personality has to be remembered. Anusmared. So one has to remember that kind of personality. And he is beyond this tamas aditya varnam. He is full of effulgent. So that personality has to be so meditated, my dear Arjuna, like that he said. Then
Yes.
after that, he is explaining in the 10th onwards. So next to anyone speaker, so Sham Karna Prabhu. I will take her that. Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
thank you, Mataji. Okay, next. Sham Karna Prabhu, quickly.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So 8th verse, just a minute.
10th verse, 10th.
10th verse, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I will explain those. Okay.
Yes, Roji. In 10th verse, it is explaining about this Satchakra Yoga.
Actually, okay, I will explain. So in the 10th verse, actually, because I'm losing time. So in the 10th verse, actually, what he is saying about the how to leave the body, actually. So one has to, by using that means Yoga Mishra Bhakti is being explained here with the Bhakti being, one is with the fully devotionally conscious, and he by using the power of the yoga, so one has to bring the life air into between of these eyebrows and leave his life. So then what will happen? So leave that body. So then that person and will be definitely reaching to the Paramatma. So like this, he is saying, and in this, and then after that in the 11th sloka, that really the process still he didn't explain. So he is just mentioning the different aspects of the Yoga Mishra Bhakta, even Bhakti. Even in the 11th sloka also, Edaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishyanti. So he's just explaining that this Brahman, where they will entering, that is that Brahman absolute truth. He is saying that about that I am going to tell you. So like that he is saying in this 11th sloka. Then after that he started explaining the process of the Yoga Mishra Bhakti. So first of all, what one has to do, so first of all, control his senses. So his senses has to be controlled. So that means he is bringing the senses from the outward direction to the inward direction. So he's pulling out, so pulling inside actually these all senses. Then after that, what he is doing, he's controlling his mind by the controlling the prana actually. So by controlling the prana, one is able to control the mind, senses and the mind. So then after that, he is bringing the life air at the, so between, that means between these eyebrows, and he is trying to just meditate. So he trying to remember by using that mind, that stabilized mind. So the Lord from the toe to head. So Lord's form he is trying to, yoga dharana means, so remembering the Lord's form. Then after that, what? Om ityekaksharam. Then he is saying that, Krishna is saying that he has to chant the mantra Om and keep on remembering so Lord's form. That's a beautiful Krishna's forms. So then by remembering this form, that means if one becomes stable in this fixing the form of the Lord, his mind, then one has to leave his body, because so he has to be fixing this. Otherwise, if before fixing, if he left, then he may not remember, and then he may not go back to the Godhead. So then by fixing, so he should remember, when mind is fixed, then he has to leave the body. So
Yeah.
then what will happen? Then what will be? So he'll be reaching to the what kind of mukti? Salokya mukti he'll be getting. So the Krishna's abode. So he is going back to the Krishna's abode. Yeah. So Dwarika. So next 14th sloka onwards, he is going to explain the Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Chetaha. Ananya Chetaha. Here the word Ananya Chetaha is very important. I already explained Ananya Chetaha, what it is saying. It is telling about the pure devotional service. Anya Vilasha Sunyam Gnana Karma Dhyana Vrutam. The word Ananya Chetaha is indicating, that means it's rejecting the worshipping of other demigods, and also it is rejecting the desiring of other material results, and also it is telling about the free from the gnana and karma, ananya chetaha satatam. So whoever is doing the unalloyed devotional service to the Lord, so then what will happen? Tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginah. So, and whoever is developing the relations, like what kind of relation? Dasya, sakya, vatsalya and madhurya. So this kind of relation, one who is so developing,
Prabhu,
and
just
Smarati. So, and
Prabhu,
like
just
that, so Ananya Bhaktas, they are so seeing the Krishna Lord in what
Easy.
way? They are seeing the Lord as a connection. That means they are developing the proper relationship with Him. So that is the point we have seen in the
Prabhu, are
14th.
they still doing prescribed duties in this level? In the pure bhakti level, they're still doing the prescribed duties or not?
No prescribed duties. No, it's
So
a Yoga Mishra Bhakti. They left everything and they are practicing
they've
this.
already is in a way,
Yes.
yeah.
He got the Shraddha on the Lord.
Prabhu,
Mamupetya punarjanma
so
dukkhalayam ashashratam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. So then that kind of person, so he is definitely, that means who is having this kind of relationship. So those people so will be definitely going back to the Lord's abode and they will never come back. Napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. Then they are getting the ultimate, so the ultimate the destination paramam samsiddhim. That means here, that means by the kevala bhakti, one is getting the ultimate relation, ultimate the perfection. Others, that means by using the yoga mishra bhakti and otherwise karma mishra bhakti, gnana mishra bhakti, all other bhaktis, they are just giving the only the so siddhi, samsiddhi, but here it is giving the paramam samsiddhim. So then after that he is explaining, yes, so reaching to me with this relationship is the highest perfection, he said, and he's saying that this is the highest perfection, and after that, and that person will never come back. But if anyone goes to the Brahmaji's planet, which is also the highest planet in this material world, even after going there, so one will be coming back. So that's why Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartinorjuna Mamupetyitu Kaunte Punarjanmana Vidyate. So that's why all these abodes from the till Brahma, even Satyaloka is also one Jivatma returns, but whoever who reaching to the Lord, so they Lord's abode, they will not be coming back. So he said that in that 16th sloka, and next in the 17th sloka, then he is explaining, oh, acha, Brahmaji's abode is also, that means now in this chapter, actually we are seeing the two different kinds of the bhaktis, Yoga Mishra Bhakti and so Shuddha Bhakti. So Shuddha Bhakti started in the 14th, and then after that, so we are seeing that, so he's just saying the connecting point, that is, so Brahmaji's abode is also not permanent. Then why it is not permanent? How many days it will be? It's existing. Then that he is saying that, so it is existing for the Brahmaji's one day. First of all, he is explaining it is the, so 1,000 Mahayugas is one day and 1,000 Mahayugas are the night, like that. So 15 days and 30 days are there in the month, and like that 12 months and 365 days. So that means 12 months are there. So like that 100 years total, 300 billion. So 300 trillion and 40 billion human years he will be. So it is his lifespan of the Brahmaji. Then after that also he will be so finished. That means he also leave his body. So that's why what is happening every day at the every day of the Brahmaji. So till the Swarga, all the living entities are entering into the body of the Brahmaji. And whatever the jivas are there in the Maharloka, they are going up. That is Janaloka, Tapoloka, and Satyaloka. All these jivas, so they are having in these three planets, are they having the lifespan equal to the Brahmaji's lifespan. Okay. So this is the point we discussed. So then all the jivas which are there in the Brahmaji's body, so once the night is over, that is 1000 Mahayugas, they are coming back. That means they are appearing back. They are getting the gross body based upon their karma back. Okay. So then in the 19th sloka, so what we have seen? So bhuta grama sayevam bhutva praliyate ratyagame vashah partha prabhavantyharagame. From here onwards, we are going to discussing. So 19 to 28 total, how many? So total 9 slokas are there. So translation, Tulsi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Text 19 translation. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated.
Yeah. Bhuta grama sayeva ayam bhutva praliyate. So that means every day. So they are getting the different bodies, that is in the 1000 Mahayugas. And when night comes, all destroyed till Sarga. And once again, day starts, they get body. So bhutva sa bhuta gramaha eva ayam bhutva praliyate ratyagame avashaha partha prabhavantyah ragame. So at the time of the when night is going to start, so at that when night is about to start, all the jivatmas are leaving their gross bodies. And when the daytime starts, when daytime is about to start, so all they will be getting back. So this is the point. These nine slokas are very quite easy and not so technical and very simple actually. Okay, it's not a really complex subject matter to.
You didn't give any questions regarding Brahmaji's that 14 talented systems and all that.
Yes, Mataji. So in the 18th question, so we are asking, what is that? Okay, 18th sloka. So in the please explain the meaning of avyakta. In 7 point, please explain the meaning of avyakta. In BG 7.8.18, you have to say why. Explain means why avyakta is taken as Prajapati only here. So why not the Trigunas?
Saying so please explain of avyakta in 8.18.
Yes.
How many marks, bro?
It is 3 marks. Okay, this is enough. So next, bhuta grama sayevayam bhutva praliyate ratyagame avashah partha prabhavatyah. So here, yeah, you understood. So all of you, what is happening? So at the time of before starting the day, night, so they are leaving their body.
Prabhu, just one thing you mentioned last week about this, just confirming again that the creation is not destroyed, only the jiva's bodies are destroyed, and the jivas are grow in Lord Brahma's body, and then in the morning they come back again. The creation is nothing.
Yeah, Jiva Samuha bar. So that means what he is saying, all the living entities come into being, and with the arrival's night, they are helplessly annihilated. That's only jivas.
Only jiva. Okay, thank you.
So the less intelligent who try to remain within this material world may be elevated to higher planets and then again must come down to this planet Earth. During the daytime of Brahma, they can exhibit their activities on higher and lower planets within this material world. But at the coming of Brahma's night, they all annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at night, they no longer have bodies but remain compact in body of Vishnu. So they no longer have bodies but remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Body of Vishnu. So this point, this body of Vishnu is correct when 50 years of the Brahmaji over. At the last day of the 50 years, along with Brahmaji, that means we are in the first day of the Brahmaji. So okay, we are in the first day of the Brahmaji. So this is the first day. This is the first day of the Brahmaji in the 51st year. So that means in day before, that means yesterday, that means yesterday, that means now if you take his Brahmaji's first day of in his 51st year, in yesterday night, where all the jivas went, all jivas went in the Brahmaji, and along with Brahmaji, they all went
Vishnu's
into
body.
Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So that's why he write Prabhupada Vishnu. But in another general days, so all the jivas are entering into the Brahmaji. Brahmaji is not entering every day into the Vishnu's body actually.
So it's
So
partially.
that
So only, Prabhuji, only on 51st.
It's partial inhalation, is it, Prabhu? That at this time that Brahmaji is like even his loka is destroyed, is it at this time?
no, not lokas are not destroyed. All these sages through the that stem
Yes.
of the lotus flower, they are entering into the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu when at the last day of the Brahmaji's 50th year.
So at the 51st year, first day, then the creation is not destroyed, everything is there, but the jivas come out again and everything starts again.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Then again they are manifested the arrival of Brahma's day. So bhutva praliyate, doing. So they become manifest, and night they are annihilated again. Ultimately, when Brahma's life is finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. So Brahmaji's 100 years, like this Brahmaji, how many years is living? 100 years. Brahmaji's after 100 years, what will happen? All Brahmandas also annihilated. All the entire planet and everything is, all the planets, millions of planets, all the Brahmandas, all the Brahmandas are millions of Brahmandas, all are annihilated, and everything enter into the Karananam Sai Vishnu's body. That is Avyakta. Everything entered into the Avyakta. Avyakta is entering into the Karananam Sai Vishnu's body. And then whenever he opens eyes, then Avyakta comes and his glances are falling on it. So then immediately she's got agitated. She's producing the Brahmandas. Then Lord entering into each Brahmanda in the form of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and he is filling half water and lying in that. And after that, from him, so Virat Purusha is coming, and Brahmaji is coming, and Brahmaji is once again refilling. So all the 14 planets with the jivas. This will be keep on happening. That means Brahmaji's 100 years is Karanano Sai Vishnu is one time blinking the eyes. So when he close eyes, all the Brahmandas are finished. When he open the eyes, all the Brahmandas are created. That means open, and in that duration, till the time he is not closing. So all the Brahmandas are existing. And when he closes, Brahmaji's 100 years are finished. So that means one time blinking equal to the 100 years of Brahmaji. Who's blinking? Karanano Sai Vishnu's blinking. Okay? So Nrsimha Daya Mataji.
Prabhuji, you just made a bifurcation in Brahmaji's life, that is 50th year and the 51st year. So why is that a bifurcation?
Yeah, 50th year actually, the last day he is entering everything. Everything is entering into the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Everything means all the jivas are entering along with the Brahmaji. So then after that 51st year, first day, they are all coming from there only. Why it is? Because in the Bhagavatam it is given actually in the third canto 12th chapter. So in the 12th chapter, if you see there, Brahmaji is creating the Sanakadi Rishis. We are seeing that Sanakadi Rishis are appearing. So this story which is coming in the third canto 12th chapter is belong to the Padmakalpa story. That is the first day of this kalpa, that is known as Padma Kalpa. And this kalpa story is being explained, and in that we are seeing Sanakad Rishis. So coming from the Brahmaji, how they are coming. So that means we should understand that in the last night, Sanakad Rishis actually, they will not be manifested, they will not be created in every day, because Sanakad Rishis are also having the lifespan of the Brahmaji. Then Sanakad Rishis are created at the beginning day of his life. At the first day of the Brahmaji, they are also created. But now we are seeing after 51st year, first day also we are seeing the creation of the Brahmajis. That is coming from the Sanakad Rishis are coming from the Brahmaji. So how the Sanakad Rishis are coming from the Brahmaji in the 51st year, first day? So this is a question actually. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives in the commentary that 50th last night, 50th year last night, they all entered into Brahmaji and they all entered into the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. That we should accept actually this truth.
So Prabhu, all the jivas go into Brahmaji's body and then Brahmaji goes there. Not that we all separately go into Lord Vishnu's body. All into Brahmaji's body and Brahmaji goes there.
Yeah. So you got Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. That means when the 50th night has ended, the Brahmaji has gone into the body of Vishnu, and in the 51st year, he has again come back. So the same Brahmaji has come back.
All the rishis,
new
everyone
Brahmaji is gone.
went into there. Okay.
Okay.
Why we are taking this? Because in the 3rd canto 12th chapter, so the first day of the Brahmaji's 51st year, we are seeing the Sanakad Rishis are coming from the Brahmaji. So how it is possible? Sanakad Rishis should not come actually. So they are also having the lifespan of Brahmaji, means they should come only in the first day. But in the 51st year also we are seeing. That means they all entered into Brahmaji, and Brahmaji entered into the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. Okay. In the 50th last night. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, Vanshi Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I just had 2 questions, that it is just by the blinking or by breathing, Karunadak Sai Vishnu produces all the Brahman by each breath, or by blink?
Blinking.
Or second, that all the Brahman means Brahmajis of all the millions and trillions of Brahman have got the same lifespan. Means all are produced simultaneously at the same time and
Yes.
annihilated at the same time.
Yes.
No
all
matter how
produces,
many heads those Brahmajis have.
they have different hands and different heads. So based upon the distance they are located. So different dimensions are there. So and also different heads also there. So but all created one time and all annihilated.
Okay. And that, Prabhuji, by this breathing or by blinking?
So blinking. So
Blinking, okay.
you can just by blinking, you can see in the 3rd canto 11th chapter actually. It is explained.
Blinking.
So when that means it's a chesta. When Karnanusaya Vishnu opens his eyes, time starts. Kala Shakti starts. So like stopwatch, he opened, so start. Then it is going to the Brahmaji's 100 years. When he closes, finish. 100 years finished.
छोटी डब्बी बड़ी डब्बी आई डब्बी
Okay. Like this, it's keep on happening. That means Kala, time is created by the activity, by the when Lord is moving his limbs, that the activity of the limbs of the Lord, Karananusaya Vishnu, is the creator, is the cause for the time. Who is the cause for the time? So the activity, Anga Chesta. What is the time? Time is nothing but the Anga Chesta of the Karananusaya Vishnu. Anga Chesta means activity of the limbs. That means opening eyes or breathing. These are all activities actually. When so he does this activity one time, blinking, 100 years over.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So 100 years of Brahma. So then you understand. That means all the time we say that when Jiva came, Are Jiva came kahan se? So actually time is also created and it's annihilated, it's finished. It's winded up. So then what is the when and where? There is no when and where. You're understanding? Whatever time we are feeling, it is started when Karananusaya Vishnu opened his eyes. When he closes and this time element also is not there. And in the spiritual world, there is no time element. Then on that day, what happened? Jiva fall down on that day. On that day, which day? Which day you are asking? Which day? Millions of the times Karnano Vishnu closed and opened eyes. Millions of the times. So time started and is ended. So that's why there is no point of asking such a questions. So generally people, they spend so much time on that. So let's go for our further discussion. So in this way, they are captivated by the spell of the material world. But those intelligent persons who take the Krishna conscious use the human form, use human life fully in devotional service to the service of the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thus they so transfer themselves even in this life to spiritual planet, to Krishna, and become eternally blissful. So that means, so whoever intelligent enough understanding this phenomena, so why I have to come back again and again? So why, what is the use of understanding of this lifespan of Brahmaji? Because our aims and targets always are limited. So if you want to put a target, then put target, such a target, so which is the topmost target. Why you have to just put the target of going to the Swarga or the Brahmaloka? What is the point in this? They are all very, so just temporary. And so that's why we need to get the high target. So that's why it is said, Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinishyati. Yeah, Mahesh. Magesh.
Hare Krishna, translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yet there is another unmanifest nature, which is
मेरी क्लास चलती मैं ऊपर चल दी है मेरे नोट्स बनाने कुछ 10 बच्चे उधर ही गए मैं आके सोनी है
which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is.
Thank you. And there is another unmanifest nature. That means parastasmat bhavo anyah vyakta avyakta avyaktat. Anyah avyakta avyaktat. That means here Krishna is telling, hey, what previously avyakta means what we took in the previous sloka. What is that sloka? Sloka number? In the 18th sloka, avyakta means what we took in the 18th sloka?
Brahmaji.
Prajapati, Brahmaji, yes. Acha, Sita Mata is still weakness she is having. So Brahmaji actually. So avyaktat avyaktaha. That means avyaktat paraha avyaktaha. That means there is one more avyakta who is superior or who is different from this avyakta. So that avyakta is what? Sanatanaha. That means one avyakta is Brahmaji, Prajapati, Brahmaji, and there is one more avyakta superior to this. So that avyakta is who is? Sanatanaha. So who is that avyakta? That avyakta means unmanifest, that is eternal. There is, so then there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifest. That is nothing but Lord. So that's why he is saying. That means he is not Brahma, is the real source. On top of that, one more the real source is there. That is me. Yahasa sarveshu bhusheshu bhuteshu nashyassu na vinishyati. That means that avyakta. That means first avyakta is nothing but Brahmaji. He will be destroyed. But there is one more avyakta. Even all the living entities are destroyed, but that avyakta is not destroyed. That is nothing but Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's a Krishna. That's a transcendental to these three modes.
So it's not the spiritual world, Prabhu. It's talking about the Lord.
Yeah. So tasmad uktalakshanaad avyaktat prajapatehi hiranyagarbhat sakashat parahasreshtaha. So hiranyagarbhasyapi karanabhutayah anyah kalu avyaktah bhavah sanatanah anadrihi. So there is, so cause of this avyakta, first avyakta, that is hiranyagarbha. First avyakta is hiranyagarbha. That is Brahmaji is also known as hiranyagarbha. And there is one more cause for this hiranyagarbha, that is avyakta, that is nothing but the Supreme Lord. So next sloka, much discussion is not there here. So avyaktokshara ityuktaha tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So what is saying here?
Prabhu, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji.
That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode.
Yes. This avyakta, that superior avyakta, that is aksharaha. Aksharaha ityuktaha. That means it infallible. Ityuktaha tam ahu paramam gatim. That is paramagati. That is the supreme destination. Yam prapya nanivartante. By reaching there, one will not come back. That is known as tadhama paramam mama. That is my abode. That avyakta is nothing but Lord's abode. And Lord's abodes are non-different. Okay. So simple actually. It's not a complex matter here. So that's why the supreme abode of the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described in Brahma Samhita as Chintamani Dhama, a place where all desires are fulfilled, the supreme abode of Lord Krishna, so known as Golok Vrindavan, is full of palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand, and there are cows known as Surabhi cows, which supply a limitless supply of milk. In this abode, the Lord is served by hundreds of thousands of goddess of fortune, and he is called Govinda. Chintamani prakara sadmasukalpa ruksha. So like that you have in the Brahma Samhita. So Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambramani Shambramana Sevyamana. That means he is served by the millions and millions of the Lakshmis in the spiritual world.
Prabhuji, here the Avyakta is the supreme abode.
Supreme abode and Supreme Lord are non-different. Everything
Okay,
total sky, spiritual sky is Avyakta.
Okay,
Is total spiritual sky is Avyakta because it's non-different from the Lord's form actually. So the Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, Venum Kwanantam. His transcendental form is most attractive in all worlds. His eyes are like lotus petals, and the color of his body is like a color of clouds. And he is also attractive that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. He wears a saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and a peacock feather in his hair. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Golok Vrindavan. So, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. A vivid description is given in the Brahma Samhita Vedic literature. So, state that there is nothing superior to the abode of the Supreme Godhead. And that abode is ultimate destination. So, Purushan na param kinchit sa kanishtha paramagati. When one attains to it, he never returns to this material world. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna's himself are non-different, being the same quality. So this is the point. Krishna and Krishna's qualities, Krishna's names, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, they are non-different from his Swarupa. How it is? Krishna's earring and Krishna are not different. In our case, our earring and we are different. Is same? No. But in the case of Krishna, it's same. like if you want to know Krishna, that means Krishna and Krishna's abode is made up of what? Is made up of means it's not a manufactured product. That means just is manifested out of by his Anandamaya Rasa. Krishna's form is fully formed by the Anandamaya Rasa. You know what is the meaning of Anandamaya Rasa? So how it is? That means if we touch anything, then it is the same rasa you'll be having. Maybe in India, so sometimes in the festivals you'll be seeing, so they'll be selling one peacock. Anyone know peacock? Not peacock or parrot actually, parrot, chilaka. So they're selling the parrot. Sometimes it is like a bird, some different bird. So it will be, so really it's not real parrot. You can eat that parrot. So what is the parrot eating? It's not non-veg actually. What they do, they take the sugar syrup, and they'll that syrup they'll be cooking that nicely, and it's fully sugar syrup, and there are the marks are there. That means what do you say that? So, what do you say?
Mold,
Huh?
Molds, sugar syrup.
Mold. Yes, mold. That mold is in the form of that parrot actually, and they'll be putting that in that mold. They'll be putting this juice. Then after drying up, then what will happen? So properly it's dried up. Then that will be looking like a parrot actually, and you can touch the parrot's legs. Also, if you taste the legs, how it will be? Same taste or not? If the parrot's the tail, parrot's head, parrot's nose, anywhere if you touch, same taste. So like that, Lord's form is completely out of Anandaika Rasaha. Is full of is a transcendental bliss. It's manifested out of the Haladini Shakti. It's completely manifested out of the Haladini Shakti. That means his form is so beautiful and so tasteful. Like that means Anandaika Rasa, one rasa only. One rasa means, that means not one rasa means it doesn't mean that it's only one rasa, but it's a uniform, not one, it's uniform. His eyes, his ears, his nose, everything. If you taste anything, it's beautiful. It's the same taste you'll get. Krishna's form is so beautiful. Then his form itself is beautiful. Then why he needs the devotee and a devotion? You should answer this. If Krishna is already having, if you have, so all the bliss with you only, in his Sarupa yourself is a bliss, is a personification of the bliss, is a personification of the rasa, and then why he need this is simple, the Shudra means insignificant jivatmas, why he is
Loving
running
exchanges.
behind them, and why he is selling himself to them. And he is saying that Aham Bhakta Paradina, why he is saying? What is this? Is really what is any logic is there? Already he's a millionaire and he is just running behind a beggar. So what is this? Because the millionaire means he's having full of bliss with him. His Swarupa itself is full of bliss. Then why he should enjoy with that Swarupa? His own Swarupa. Why? Then why? Why he is very much having hungry of the devotion.
Loving exchanges and pastimes with the devotees he wants to experience.
What loving? All the love is there in his personification. All the bliss is there.
Who will he exchange with that, Prabhu? I mean, he's already satisfied, but the loving exchanges between it's different, Prabhu. It's
loving means something that means he's not there with him and he is getting that. No, that means he's not complete.
Prabhu, we also come from him only, you know. He expands himself.
We come from him, but not from his Swarupa. No? He's not. We are different from his Swarupa. So also we are different. That means he's not complete in his Swarupa.
He's complete, perfectly complete.
Krishna Shri Prabhu, yes.
To increase his happiness further.
What kind of happiness he's getting? Already he is full of personification and happiness, and let him enjoy himself.
He is enjoying with himself. Whatever devotees, he also is energy. So he is expanding his happiness with his energy. That means he
That means
himself.
devotees are more blissful than his Swarupa?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, no.
Yes.
Some point is there. So, okay, Archana Bhakti Mataji.
Prabhuji, you only explained this, that Krishna is investing his own ananda in the hearts of the devotees, and then he's relishing that ananda. So this ananda is his swarupa, is part of his swarupa. So what he's enjoying is not something outside of him. So that bhakti is also part of his swarupa, which he's investing in the hearts of the living entities, devotees, and he enjoys that.
Yeah. So what he is doing, that means his Swarupa is out of the Hladini Shakti, and the essence of that Hladini Shakti. That means if you condensify that Hladini Shakti, then what is that? That is nothing but bhakti. Write this point. Bhakti is the essence of Hladini Shakti. Understanding? Bhakti is the essence of Hladini Shakti. Of course, his Swarupa is out of Hladini Shakti, but this bhakti is essence of the Hladini Shakti, and that he is investing in the hearts of the living entities. And he is tasting that. His own energy, that is. It's not different from his Swarupa. Since it is essence of the Hladini Shakti, that's why he's attracted to that. He's not simply satisfied by his own Swarupa. He's not becoming simply Atmaram. He is Atmarama, of course, but he's not so just not satisfied with their own form, but he is. So that Hladini Shakti, of course, is out of in his Swarupa only. So, but he's investing that in the hearts of the living entities, and he is relishing that. So, and of course, that bhakti is also, that bhakti is also having the different mellows. That bhakti rasa is also having the different mellows. In that, Mahabhava is the essence of that bhakti, the highest essence of that, the highest condensed form of that bhakti is the Mahabhava. So then Srimati Radharani is the personification of that Mahabhava, which is the essence of bhakti. So that's why he is running, he is mad after Srimati Radharani. She is completely personification of that Mahabhava. Okay, so we'll continue our discussion. So next, on this earth, Vrindavan, 90 miles southeast of Delhi, is a replica of the supreme Goloka Vrindavan. Located in the spiritual sky, when Krishna descended on this earth, so he is spotted on that particular tract of the land as Vrindavan, comprising about the 84 square miles in the district of Mathura, India. Okay, just Bolok Vrindavan. So Bhoma Vrindavan, he is writing, Prabhupada is also transcendentally, so transcendental place. So this is non-different from the spiritual world. This place also. Next, Purushassa Parah Partha Bhaktya Labhyastvananyaya Yasyantastani Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. Okay, who will read? Yes, Srimati Kishori Mataji.
Prabhu, I have one question regarding this 21st verse.
What is that, Mataji?
Prabhu, in the 21st verse also Krishna is telling that one who comes to my abode, one never returns, and also it's a supreme destination. And also in the 15th verse, we saw that he said that one never returns. The same thing he is telling that Paramam Siddhim, that is the highest perfection, and one never returns. So is it okay what I understood in both the verses?
Same, Mataji. And after that, in the 16th, all is saying, Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. So once again, many times he likes to tell about himself. He always express, I am great, my destiny is supreme. Because he expected to tell someone, but anyway, so nobody is there, so he is telling himself in that battlefield.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, Srimati Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Text 22nd, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him.
Thank you, Mataji. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. So finally, he's coming back. Once again, already he said in the 14th, what he's saying. So Ananya Bhakti, he's telling about the Ananya Bhakti, and whoever is doing that Ananya Bhakti, he's clearly saying, Ananyas Cheta Satatam. So they are reaching me only, he's saying. Mam Smarati Nityasha Tasyaham Surlabaha Partha Nityakta Yogina. In the 15th, Mamupetya. That means by that Ananya Bhakti, they are reaching to him only. So once again, he's saying, same thing. Purusha saha paraha partha bhaktya labhyastu ananyaya yasyantastani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. So here saha purusha means that Purusha. Why Krishna is saying that Purusha? Till now in the picture, who are there? First Avyakta, that is Prajapati, and after that he said that compared to this Prajapati, there is one more Avyakta is there, that is nothing but the my abode, he said. Now all of a sudden he's saying the 22nd, Saha Purusha means that Purusha. Who is that Purusha? Saha means he. So who is he? He means who?
Himself, Supreme Lord, Krishna.
Then he should say me.
Paramatma.
Saha Purusha, why he said? Purusha saha paraha partha bhaktya labhyaha. He is telling here, Saha Purusha means about his Amsha, Swamsha, that's a Vishnu. Swamsha, any Swamsha you can take, not only Vishnu. Such a Mad Amshaha Paramaha Purushaha, that you should take. Who is there in the heart, or who is just cause for the this entire creation, or otherwise Narayana you can take, anything you can take. Saha Purushaha. Purusha means any, Purusha means all Purusha avataras are 3. What are the Purusha avataras?
Karno Daksha Vishnu, Garbha Daksha Vishnu, and Shiro Daksha Vishnu.
Yes.
Yeah, these are the 3 Purusha avataras. Purushaha. So Purusha means Vishnu, the Swamsha. That you should take. That's a Mahavishnu is also known as Karananusaya Vishnu. So that means even that Vishnu is one can get. That means so a loving relationship with him one can get by the Ananya Bhakti only. Getting the Saloki Mukti may be Karma Mishra Bhakti. So with the Bhakti, with the intention of Bhakti is done, then one may get the Saloki Mukti. But here getting the Lord, that means getting the relationship with the Lord. That is possible by the Bhakti only, Ananya Bhakti only. Otherwise, one will be getting the moksha. Without bhakti, just what they are getting, so that is a moksha. But by bhakti, ananya bhakti, one will be getting the relationship with the Lord. Yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. So what it means? So, so who is that Purusha he is discussing? That means in whom all the living entities are existing. In whom all the living entities are existing. And they are coming out and they are becoming these many Brahmandas. That means filled in this.
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu. Saha Purushaha Bhaktya Labhya. That means he is my Amsha. That Purushaha, Mahavishnu. He also attained by my unalloyed devotion. One can get him. So moksha, or merging into the Mahavishnu's body, is not really getting. That is just moksha, that is liberation. Getting means getting some personal relationship with the Vishnu, Mahavishnu. That is, he is also coming. You can take here Mahavishnu as Narayana in this abode. So the supreme personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Purpose, it is here clearly stated that the supreme destination from which there is no return is the abode of Krishna, the supreme person. Brahma Samhita describes this supreme abode as Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. All the variegatedness manifest there is of the quality of spiritual bliss, nothing there is material. The variegatedness is expanded as the spiritual expansion of the Supreme Godhead himself. For the manifestation, there is totally of the spiritual energy as explained in the chapter 7. So in this chapter 7, we have seen that. So this variegated, his bliss, his variegatedness is explained as spiritual expansion of the Supreme Godhead. As far as this material world is concerned, although the Lord is always in his supreme abode, he is nonetheless all-pervading by his material energy. So by his spiritual and material energies, he is present everywhere, both in the material and spiritual universes. Yasyantasthani means that everything is sustained within him, within either his spiritual or material energy. So ultimately, anyway, so this Lord's energy is all pervasive, and he is everywhere existing. He is Vibhu. In every atom he is existing. So because of his Achintya Shakti, so to enter Krishna's supreme abode or the innumerable Vaikuntha planets is possible only by bhakti, devotional service, as clearly indicated here by the word bhaktya. So no other process. Without bhakti, one cannot enter into the spiritual world. By karma, gnana, and yoga, one cannot enter. So there, bhakti is pradhani. That means bhuta bhakti. Bhakti is needed. Without bhakti, no. That's the point Prabhupada is mentioning here. Okay. So other points are explained so very quite understandable. I'm going to the next sloka. Yatra kale tu anavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam vakshami bharatarshabha. Translation. Better I can. Okay, Adukshas.
O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back.
From now onwards, what we are going to see. So different paths by passing which one will come back and one will not come back. yogi, yogi's path. There are two paths are there. If you leave this body and go in that path, if you go in that path, then you will reach to some destination, and from there you will come back. And there is one more path. If you go in that path, then you will reach the destination, then you will never come back. Like that, two paths are there. These are meant for whom? These are meant for the yogi. Who is that yogi? Bhakti yogi, Jnani yogi, Ashtanga yogi, Karma yogi. Which yogi?
All the yogis.
This sloka is telling about which yogi? Which
All
yogi? All? Devotee yogi? Bhakti yogi also?
Not Bhakti yogi. He goes back to the spiritual world, but unless his is incomplete, his devotion is incomplete, then he has to come back again. But otherwise,
So here only Jnani, Karmi and Yogis, about them it is speaking, not Bhakti Yoga.
Yes. It's speaking about, this sloka is telling about Jnani, Karmi, Jnani and Ashtanga yogi. Not the Bhakti yogi. This point we should always remember.
Yes.
So this sloka is, this and coming slokas are not meant for the devotees. For devotees, these conditions are not applied. Whenever they leave, so they will definitely go back to the Godhead and they will never come back. There is no need to think about in the case of devotees to come back. Because yam prapyan anivartante tadhama paramam mama. Devotees, if they worship the Lord, they will go to the Lord's abode only. And also already he said, if anyone come to my abode, they will never come back. So then what is the point? He may live, he may travel in this path or that path. Any path he travel, in any path, that means any time, that means Uttarayan time or Dakshinayan time or the Sukla Paksha time or Krishna Paksha time, any time he leaves body, definitely he will not come back. In the case of devotees, there is no coming back. Okay. So that's why these slokas are not meant for the devotees. Tu bhakta tvam prapina punar vartante ityukta na tatra tat prapto kaschin marganima ityukta. That's why there is no conditions are applied for the case of devotees for leaving their body. Natu satvika achiradihi yastu margo yogina naninaha karminascha asti tam aham jignase ityapeksha. So just Arjuna is saying that, hey Krishna, I know your devotees, if they leave their body at any time, they will never come back. There is no restrictions in leaving the body. That may be the Uttarayana time or in the Dakshinayana time. But the point is, but in the case of karmis, jnanis and yogis, it's not like that. They can come back. So my dear Krishna, so please explain. So what are the conditions? In which conditions? So who are coming back and who are not coming back? Please explain. So about these karmic, jnani and yogi, ashtanga yogis, then so Krishna started explaining this sloka. Oh Arjuna, okay, I will explain for you. So I will explain two different paths. So one path is meant for the going and not coming, and one path is going and coming back. So purport, the unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord who are totally surrendered souls who don't care when they leave their bodies are by what method. So that's why they don't care. They leave everything in Krishna's hand and so easily and happily return to Godhead. But those who are not unalloyed devotees and who depend instead on such methods of spiritual realization as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga must leave the body at a suitable time in order to be sure of whether or not they will return to the world of birth and death. This is the point. Prabhupada is also clearly is mentioning the same point of the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Only for this is meant applied for the karmi, gnani, and hatha yogi. If the yogi is perfect, he can select the time and situation for leaving this material world. But if he is not so perfect, his success depends on his accidentally passing away at a certain. That means that's why yogis, they are always selecting their time and also selecting their, especially time. Time is very important. The suitable time they should select and leave the body. Otherwise, they'll come back.
Prabhu, just have a question actually.
Mm.
So yogis, gyanis, karmis, anyway they'll come back, right? Because they do not have any devotion, no intention to serve.
No, Gnanis will not come back.
They'll remain in
And
Brahma
also
Yoga.
yogis will not come back.
But what they will do, they do not have any affection or relations. They didn't develop that.
In the 6th chapter, what we studied, Gnanis, they are going to
Impersonal liberation, Prabhu.
liberation.
But of course,
Mukti.
yeah, impersonal liberation also, they'll not get the high taste. They'll be back again. That's what it is.
No.
Is it?
No. After going to the impersonal Brahman merging, or otherwise merging to the Karnanosa Vishnu's body, so they will never come back. Merging is different, and just at the annihilation time, jivas entering, that is different. Because those jivas are having avidya with them. But when they got mukti, avidya is over.
Prabhu, if I remember, you explained that just before the body, if they leave, if in that time they get avidya, then they will fall down from that position. But if they go, then they will not fall down.
So, okay. So the point is here, when these jivas, so going to the, that means doing the Jnana Yoga, in the first 6 chapters we have seen Jnanis, by practicing the Jnana Yoga, so if they go and merge into the Brahman, and they need some bhakti, definitely, some amount of bhakti is needed. So to go and merge into the Brahman. After merging into the Brahman, so that Jivatma will never come back. So that is also permanent. And yogis, they are meditating on the Paramatma, and once liberation, they are merging into Paramatma. Then in that case also, after merging into the Paramatma, they will never come back. Finish. So at the annihilation time also, all the jivas, that means they are going and merging into the Karananasa Vishnu. And when all the Brahmandas are finished. So that merging is what? That merging is different. They are entering into the body of Vishnu. They are not merging. So why they are already, that means they are not doing, they didn't do any yoga. So that means Jivatma is already having the avidya with it. Avidya is covering the Jivatma. And that kind of jivas are entering after the annihilation, complete annihilation of all the Brahmandas. And those jivas will come back. But who did the yoga sadhana? He practiced yoga. And if they merge into the Paramatma, so their avidya, because at the time of the dharana, dhyana, samadhi, so at the time of samadhi, so they are leaving all the, that means avidya also, and that pure spirit soul is merging into the Paramatma, then those jivatmas will never come back. And jivatmas which are merging into the Brahman, they are also never come back. So it's not the point of the higher taste. If higher taste is the cause to come back, then what? Then all the jivas in Vaikuntha also should leave that place. Because Krishna's abode is only the highest tasteful place. Then after that, you should say that Vaikunta, staying in the Vaikunta or otherwise staying in the Dwarika, all these are also not higher taste then. There also all jivas are winding up and only the jivas are staying in the Golok Vrindavan. Is it like that? Then there is no other planets, other abodes in the spiritual world. There are so many. The Nrsinga planet is there, Vamana planet is there, Matsya planet is there, Kurma planet is there, and also the other demigods, that means spiritual demigods, their planets also there. So many abodes are there. So that means all jivas are, they should vacate it and go. Only one rasa, only one type of pleasure. No, it's not like that. It's not the philosophy. So some jivas, they are merging into Brahman. That's all. Finish. They never come back.
There, bro. They can't go on from there. If there is no choice. That's it. Finish.
Yeah, in Brahman there is no choice. So Brahman, one jivatma will fall down when they do the offense. Anadruta ishmadangrayaha. Whenever jivatma does the offense, then it will fall down from his state. That is possible in the case of the Jivan Mukta, but that is not possible in the case of liberated soul, which is which already merged into the Brahman. In Brahman, what kind of aparadha is doing and coming back?
Okay. Then what they will do there, Prabhu?
They will not do anything because they practice such a state actually. So because of that Brahma Gnanam, so what happened? Their activity, kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, and this gnatritvam, they are all so inactivated. That means inactivated means it's is there and it doesn't want to use it. Became, that's why one. That is the kleshodikatarastesham avyakta chetasam. It's a very hard practice. So such a practice is not an easy thing. Going and merging into the getting spiritual about doing bhakti is very easy. But knowing Lord's qualities completely is not possible. But knowing Brahman, realizing Brahman is complete. Completely you can realize. But getting is difficult. So that's why there is no activity there. There is a oneness. There is no upasaka, upasya. Bheda is not there. That's why Aikya, that means Aham Brahmasmi, this I am Brahman. This is the nothing but the liberation actually. Saijya, becoming one. Yijja means one, merging, one. Then if you want to say to come back from there, you have to have the reason actually. In the case of Jivan Muktas, who already in the body, but already their consciousness is raised to the Brahman. So then in that case, since they are in the body, there is a chance to commit any offense. In front of that Jivan Mukta, if Vaishnava is going and that Mukta, Jivan Mukta didn't offer obeisances, then offense is happened actually by him also, unknowingly or knowingly. It's offense only. And to destroy that offense, that Jivan Mukta who practiced Jnana Yoga doesn't have sufficient bhakti to destroy that offense, and then in that case, so that Jnani will fall down from the Jivan Mukta stage. Okay, next. Agnir Jyotiraha Suklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Jana. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain the Supreme by passing away from the old during the influence of the fiery god. in the light, at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. These are the times. In these timings, if they leave, so they will be those, that means yogis will never come back. What are those times? Agnir Jyotir Aha Sukla Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahmavido Janaha. So Agni Jyotish Shabda, this all Shabdas, they are indicating the time actually. That means when there is sun, there is a daytime. Okay. Or otherwise, Sukla Paksha. Sukla Paksha means moon increases day by day. Or during the or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the northern direction, Uttarayanam. So Makara Sankranti day, what happens? Sun started traveling towards the north direction. And after he takes 6 months, he travels in that Uttarayana, that means northern direction, reaches to the another end of that ellipse, that is. Sun travels in the ellipse. This is the ellipse. You all know the ellipse. So this is south and this is north if you take. Harava is like this. So this is ellipse. And this is south. This is north. So how sun travels? That is, a Sumeru is there. Around that, he'll be. He is here, and he is also rotating and also going upward direction like that. Spring, helical shape. That means there will be 2 directions are there. One is the south to north direction. Another is the circular direction. 2 directions are there. Sun moves like that. So that's why sun, when is moving from the north to south, then that is, south to north, like this. So then that is known as Uttarayana. And after that, from there, he is coming down like this. And once again, he is going up and coming down. So that's why, if you take this is south and this is north, south, and also like this rotating. So around the Sumeru planet, Sumeru mountain. So when sun travels from the north to south, that is Uttarayanam, in that period, so one leaves the body. Then what will happen? Yes, that means one has to live in Uttarayanam 6 months on the waxing moon, that means Sukla Paksha, in the daytime, then he will never come back. That yogi will never come back. Daytime he should live, not night time.
Prabhu, this sun, why is Prabhupada Krishna is giving us so much emphasis on the sun? Whether the sun is helping this person, the yogi, going somewhere with some roots to this spiritual world, or there is no relation? Simply for the sake of time, is explaining.
As per my knowledge, maybe some technical details might be there, so I don't know. Because at that time, maybe some different benefit or different help maybe he may getting. I don't know, Prabhu, exactly. So, but here we are understanding it's in the form of time. So that's why yogis, they should select the time like this to leave their body so that they will never come back. So who is this yogi? He is generally Brahmavidaha, Gnani. Gnanis. So they will leave their body and they will merge into the Brahman. They will merge in Brahman. Then they will never come back. That means na avritti, punaravritti will not be there. Anavritti. That means no return.
So Prabhu, where it says influence of the fairy god, that means it means the sun. It's during the daytime. In the light means that it's Shukla Paksha, moon increasing day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the condition. So when firelight day and the fortnight of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that overall of them, there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one on the path to a new life. If one leaves the body at the time designated above, either accidentally one leaves the body at the time designated above, accidentally or by the arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Mystics who are advanced in the yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. So that's why even accidentally also nothing is accidental. So means Prabhupada's understanding is if someone did so that kind of sadhana and that bala is there, so then it arrangement, so destiny, that means fate will be arranged such a way. So he will be leaving the in a right auspicious time, he'll be going back. He might have done sadhana, same sadhana in another time. So that is the point we should understand. That means without the cause, there will be no effect. So in this material world, everything is causal relation. It is having causal relation, perfect cause and perfect effect. So that means particular cause and particular effect is there everywhere. So that's why. Anyway, simple point is this Gnanis, they will be selecting this time, whatever explained in this sloka, and going and merging into the Brahman, they will never come back. That is a simple and main understanding. Next, 25th, Domo Ratris Tatha Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when sun passes to the south reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. So in Dakshinayana time, that means when sun is traveling from north to the south, so at that time, from north to south, and also waning moon, that means moon is keep on decreasing, and night time, if anyone leaves, then they have to come back. They will be reaching to where? They will be reaching to the Swarga, actually. Karmis, actually. It is generally in the case of Karmis.
So is it somewhere related to this? We are not performing the samskars if someone is dying in the night time. Is it somewhere related? The samskara.
Nighttime. So nighttime they don't burn actually. Nobody burn the bodies in the nighttime. So,
And there are so many opinions to it also, Prabhuji. Different literature says different things. Sometimes says this can be burnt out. Sometimes says it should not be. So I was trying to believe.
Antikriya samskara.
Okay, interesting.
They also fix the for every samskara. So time, but is a ritual, na? That's a karma. So the rituals, the karma is need the purification of the time, place, mantra, and dravya all. So to give the perfect results, that's why they will be generally selecting the time also sometimes to burn to do the antikriyas, antikriya samskara. So that's karma because of that. So they will be. But in the case of the devotees, there is no conditions. No conditions are applied.
But these conditions will apply for Jnana Mishra Bhakta as well, right?
No Jnana Mishra Bhakta. Not for devotees. Jnana Mishra Bhakta is also devotee. So, in the third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in the fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on the earth attain to the moon at the death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somarasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. So here the point is simple, direct. Who is this? That means living in this waning moon and this. This is the case of karmis. Karmis, they are returning back. Dhomavimanini. So they are doing the various sacrifices. Because what is Karma Mimamsa philosophy? Karma Mimamsa philosophy says that you do different yajnas and get the punya, piety, go to the Sarga and enjoy it and come back and do one more yajna and go back, enjoy, come back. So that's why they want to come back. So that's why they will be leaving their body because they don't believe in so-called something permanent and this and that. That means Adato, Brahma Jignasa, these are all bogus sutras written by the Vedavyas. They think like that. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. By hearing this statement, karmis think that what is the nonsense? What is it? It's simply Arthavada Vakya. And no activity can be done by this. And no inspiration we are getting, nothing, no inspiration from this statement. Simply, it's Upanishads are bogus. Who is thinking like this? Who is?
Karmis.
Karmis. So karmis, they are thinking like this. According to karmis, there is no permanent destination. बोलते ही नहीं एकदम. So they are desire to come back. They are desiring to come back. They want to come back. And because they want to do the big sacrifice so that they can go to different planets and enjoy. Moon planet, sun planet, so Chandra, Indra, Surya, all this. And wants to come back also. Because that is the philosophy. That is the Purva Mimamsa. That is the Jaimini Sutras. Sorry, that is the Jaimini Sutras. Jaimini is saying like this. You might be thinking, oh, what is his fool? then he'll be laughing. There is nothing permanent and you are doing for the something permanent. They'll be laughing at us. Every philosophy, everyone feel their philosophy is superior and best. Huh? Understanding? What is the meaning of this sloka? So karma is, huh?
Why it's written during the smoke? I missed actually 3-4 minutes of your class because of some internet problem. So why it's written during the smoke?
Because they are always, their body is filled with smoke. पूरा धुआं निकालते हैं वो लोग because they will be doing the lot of yajna. In Bhagavad also you'll be getting by doing this yajna, so by that means their mind, their body, everything so smoky. Their mind also became smoky because they all that rishis who came along with the Saunaka, so to ask the Sutta Goswami, they were expressing their feelings. Oh my dear Supreme, so devotee, that means Supreme Last Devotee Sutta Goswami, we are all so tainted with this smoke. Our body and our heart also became black. So now you distribute the nectar of this Krishna's pastime. So that means their black means what? How their body became black and their heart became black. That is due to the smoke. If you, that means they are always sitting in front of fire and doing the gas they want to go back to the Swarga actually. And their heart also became black because of this material desire. Okay. Here that you should understand by the smoke who karmis are going to leave their body in the waning moon and in the Dakshinayana in the night time. They can come back and do the more yajnas. Because their philosophy is saying you should not stay there, you should come and do more and go back. That is their philosophy. Okay, next. Sukla Krishne Gati Hete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Puna. Anyaya Vartate Puna. Magheshwaran.
According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in the light and the one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns.
Yes. Good. This is the same thing. He just summarized whatever said in this previous two slokas. These slokas are very simple and easy.
Prabhu, can I ask one question regarding this? Prabhu, all these times which are mentioned here, it doesn't does apply to us also, because we are not pure devotees that we are going to achieve the destination, that supreme destination. So is it auspicious times for us, all those who are like practicing devotees?
No, Mataji, we should come back. We don't want to, because we want to finish the remaining bhakti.
I'm just asking about the time, like it's written a one in light and one in darkness. So is it good for us also? Because like in we read that Bhishma Pitama also left his body on Uttarayan. So
there is some significance regarding that. That's why he left his body on Uttarayan. I don't know. I'm just asking you. So is there any time that for devotees also like?
No, Mataji. For devotees, Ante Narayana Spati. So if we remember Narayana at the time of death, there was, we will go back to Krishna's Narayana abode, or if we remember Krishna's abode. Bhaktas, they know. Bhakta, who is that? Even Pradhani Bhuta Bhakta or the Kevala Bhakta. So Pradhani Bhuta Bhaktas are getting the different Salokya Muktis. And are they Santaras or something? But Kevala Bhaktas they will be getting. So the Krishna's Golok Vrindavan. So of course, so Bhakta's case, it is not applicable. Just some to set the example. So previously, even Bhaktas being a pure devotee might be doing some kind of social customs he might be following. So that doesn't mean that he is, but devotees, all devotees also conditioned by these external things. It's not like that. So they just to set the example how to leave the body. For other general mass people, so yogis or jnanis case. So in the case of devotees, there is no calculation of the time to leave the body. There is no need of calculating the time. Only the thing is, they should remember the Krishna actually. That is important. That is possible by the Krishna's arrangement only in such a difficult situation. Even if you, when walking and very strong, so hitting because of some stone to the feet, immediately what can we remember Krishna? No, actually. Even after half an hour also we don't remember. We will be scolding who is keeping this stone here, and we'll be giving first of all we'll give lot of उसको पहले गाली सुनाते हैं. Yes or no? Then after that, so pain is realized, and then after Krishna, Rama, then we'll start saying. So this is the conditioned nature actually. Because it's not so easy. It is easy when we finish all the aparadhas. Anyway, we discussed that. So we'll go to next sloka. Naite Sruti Partha. Naite Sruti Partha Jana. Jana Janan. Naite Sruti Partha Janan. Yogi Muhyati Kaschana. Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Yeah, Punishlok Prabhu.
Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
Yeah. Ete Sruti. That means these two paths. Janam yogi muhyati kaschana. Na muhyati. So here, what Krishna is saying, yogis, they will be knowing these two paths. Etan margadvayam gnanam vivekotpadakam ataha tadvantam stauti naite iti. So that's why being conscious of these two paths, Jnanis, especially Jnanis, they are always yoga yuktaha. They are always attentive in doing their yoga. So here yogi means Jnana yogi. These are all telling about, these all slokas from sloka number 23 onwards. These are all not about bhaktas actually. So that's why you don't need to worry about the information in this. It's only about jnanis and karmis. So that's why you jnanis, jnana yogis, they will be knowing the difference between these two paths, and they are always attentive. That means they are always fixed in their yoga. So your point is, when you see the devotion, then you may get the bewilderment. Arey, devotion aaya idhar aur kya hai ye?
Is it bhavarth, Prabhu? Because Srila Prabhupada usually gives the bhavarth rather than...
Yeah, like that only. But you should take, so the thing is, then after that you'll be getting confusion once again. Arey, here devotion diya to, if it is devotion, then in the previous slokas also telling about devotees. No. Yes, Prabhupada sometimes he gives the bhavartha and extracts the extra meanings. So otherwise, all these conditions are applied for only the karmis and jnanis, not for the devotees. That is clear actually. So purport, Krishna is here advertising. So Krishna is advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by the different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. A devotee of the Supreme Law should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. So clearly, Prabhupada writes in the purport, definitely he clarifies. So that's why you have to see the overall, not just by reading the translation, or devotion is there here, what? Should not come to some conclusion. And you read the purport, sometimes in the next purport also, it will be connecting, and then you'll understand more clearly. That's why you should take like that. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these. You should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always devoted in his service, and this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. So this, always trying to be Krishna conscious. That means ma manuswara tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmaran yudhya cha bharat. So that is the principle actually. All the times one devotee has to try. It's not so easy. So, but it is the goal actually. One day we should reach to like that stage. And this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word yoga yukta is especially significant in this verse. So one who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. So Srila Rupa Goswami advises anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayunjataha. One should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, who is called yoga, so by the system which is called yukta vairagya, one attain perfection. So sometimes Prabhupada using some specific words, just by taking some few words, and he can give the devotional meaning to that. That is also we see even in the Bhagavatam also.
So Prabhu, just with preaching, because when there are new people, we don't want to confuse them as well. They are new beginners in Bhagavad Gita. So for them, can we also teach with the Bhavarth rather than confusing them? Oh, here Prabhupada is writing me, but it doesn't mean like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
You Bhakti Shastri students has to know. So what is the point and what is the not. So because Prabhupada, how he is writing his purport. So based upon the first statement he said already, he never bothered about this. So one should derive the proper understanding, should not become sentimental, and should be enough to explain the what Prabhupada is intended and saying. So he's clearly clarifying that. So one devotee should not bother about this time constraint. So that's why whatever is said in the 23rd onwards, it is not at all belong to the devotees. And also here, that is the beauty of his purpose. So bringing the some words, taking the some words, and he can explain those words in a devotional way by reading this purport. Also, one will be understanding immediately the highest thing is Krishna consciousness. So that is the special. That means many times, many devotees, many times, many people actually who is opening the book and reading the one sloka and keeping it there. That's by this kind of purpose, immediately by one sloka, if they read also, immediately they'll understand something. So the highest thing, that is Krishna consciousness. So that is the strategical writing of the purpose. That is a strategical way of writing the purpose. It's not that he is not unaware of this. He doesn't know this simple Acharya's commentary. It's not like that. So commentary is very easy, and he read enough times, and he has enough understanding, and he knows what is what in and out of all the commentaries. And of course, but after knowing also everything, he is writing just to so make it more strategical and make the devotees more and more. That is the expertness. The perfection is defined how expertly one is preaching. But Bhakti Shastri students has to know. It's not that we are showing the demerit of the Prabhupada. It is the merit of the purpose. It's not the demerit. So Sri Rupa Goswami advises. This is the finally point. That means yukta, yoga yuktaha. This you can take. So yoga yuktaha in such a way. So that means one should be always in the Krishna consciousness. This is also needed. So that means in the case of the Gnani, he should be always in the yoga yuktaha. And that is also true for the bhaktas also. They should be always in Krishna consciousness. Yoga yukta means, so should be in Krishna consciousness always. Mam anusmaran, that means that's why Krishna is also saying, Tasma sarveshu kalish. This is the essence of this whole chapter actually. All the time remembering the Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada is bringing that point. Anasakta Vishwan, that means one should not be attracted to the so-called this material objects. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yathartham Upayinjataha. So that means appropriately, that's why one has to so that means Yukta Vairagya definition is given. Unnecessary engagement should stop. Associating of the material objects are so interacting with the material objects should be stopped, and just to maintain his bare necessities, one should accept the material objects and always be in Krishna consciousness. So he's bringing that special conclusions from this. So that's why we should be intelligent enough. So what is the speaker is intended to say. So one should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By the system which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. So devotees are not disturbed by this kind of descriptions. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upeti chadyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So, Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti sattaram vidit. That's why now you see, this is a conclusion actually. Krishna is concluding here. Of course, my dear Arjuna, so these karmi yogi jnanis, they are very much particular about these so leaving their body. And finally, devotees, he is telling about the devotees. Devotees, they know, so the result of the Vedas, Yagyas, austerities, charity. So what is the punya is existing in those things. Devotee knows, and also he knows superior to that all the results. Atyeti, that means crossing all those, that means superior to those. That there is one more is it that sarvam idam viditva. So yogi means here, yogi means you should take devotee. Here you should take yogi means devotee. That is a very important thing. Where what you should take. Here yogi means devotee. So devotee is knowing that the results of all these different sadhanas, like the Vedas, Yagyas, Tapas, Dana, and also he knows the superior to that is, what is that? Matstanam, that means Sustanam, Paramstanam, that is Lord's abode. And they knows that is Adyam, that means that is the beginning of everything. Original, that is the original. That place they knows, and they will be trying for that only. And they are not so entrapped by all this. So that's why a person who accepts the path of devotional service, it means yogi. This is yogi means devotee. Word to word meaning also you can see devotee. And finally, that person is knowing that, and that's why he will not be attracted by any following the Vedas or otherwise doing austerities or charity, these things. No, he'll be doing the purely devotional service and going back to the Godhead. Well, I'll take another 5 minutes and finish this purport. So purport, this verse is the summation of the 7th and 8th chapters, which particularly deal with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. So in the 7th and 8th chapters, we have seen the many things till now about the Jnanis, about the various kinds of the devotion. So ultimately, that means karma mishra, gnana mishra, bhakti mishra, yoga mishra. Sorry, karma mishra, gnana mishra. So yoga mishra, bhaktis. Also we have seen kevala bhakti. So, and also we have seen what are the different destinations. How the karmic jnani yogi, they leave their body. This also we came to know. So then, how they live, we came to know. And 1 second. So that means we also came to know that karmic jnanis yogis, so what kind of results they are getting, and that also we came to know. Then we understood ananya bhakti. So that's why one will become devotee. That is the result actually. After knowing all these points, what is the result? One should become Krishna conscious, yogi. That means Krishna conscious. And we should try for reaching the Lord's abode. Because Lord abode is Yadgatva Nanivartante. And it is also, what is advantage? One more. There is no need of any time constraints. They are not there. They are not there. So one has to study the Vedas under the guidance of the spiritual master and undergo many austerities and penances while living under his care. A brahmachari has to live in the home of the spiritual master just like a servant, and he must beg alms from door to door and bring them to the spiritual master. He takes food only under the master's order, and if a master neglects to call the student for food that day, the student fasts. There are some of the Vedic principles for observing brahmacharya. After the student studies the Vedas under the master for some time, at least from age 5 to 20, he becomes a man of perfect character. Study of the Vedas is not meant for the recreation of the armchair speculators, but for the formation of character. After this training, the brahmachari is allowed to enter into the household life and marry. When he is a householder, he has to perform many sacrifices so that he may achieve further entanglement, or sorry, further enlightenment. So he must also give charity according to the country, time, and candidate, discriminating among charity in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance, as described in Bhagavad Gita. Then, after retiring from household life, upon accepting the order of Vanaprastha, he undergoes severe penances, living in forest, dressing with tree bark, not shaving, etc. By carrying so order of by carrying out the orders of brahmacharya, householder life, vanaprastha, and finally sannyasa, one becomes elevated to the perfectional stage of life. So some are then elevated to the heavenly kingdom, and when they become even more advanced, they are liberated in spiritual sky, either in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti or in the Vaikuntha planets or Krishna Loka. This is the path outlined by Vedic literatures. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all rituals of the different orders of life. So this is a point actually Prabhupada is explaining in the Vedic system how the life is arranged. In the Vedic system, first 25 years is brahmachari, that is a student life. There he will be studying the Vedas under the instructions of the gurus. And then after that, he will be entering into the household life. Then after the 50 years age, so he'll be leaving that household life and becoming the vanaprastha. So living in the forest and just living the austere life. Then after that, he will be so rising even further and becoming the sannyasi. So then being the sannyasi, so one maybe if he's becoming perfect and he may go back to the Brahma Jyoti, merging into the Brahman or otherwise. So according to that means karma phalam, so they'll be going to the different heavenly planets. So this are also sometimes they may get because of some karma mishra bhakti they do, then they can go back to the Vaikuntha also. Salokityadi muktis. Then Prabhupada is saying, but the beauty, this is the path outlined by the Vedic literature. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all the rituals of the different orders of life. That means, Tyatva Swadharmam Charanam Bhujam Hare. So even someone may left all the ashram systems, all the brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. Even he didn't follow jnana karma jnanavrutam. That means any karma related to these ashrams he didn't do. And he practiced only that means left all his prescribed duties according to the varna and ashram. And just practice the Krishna's consciousness, just chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So such a faithful person who is having the full faith on the Lord and surrendered, and he left all the prescribed duties and just surrendered to the Lord, and he took only the names of the Lord. Then he doesn't perform, he doesn't undergo any samskaras, he doesn't undergo any kinds of the rituals, he doesn't perform his prescribed duties according to the varna and ashram. But he chanted all the time holy name. That's one kick. By one stroke, he will go back. By this just one activity, he will go back. Why Adaksha is laughing? You don't want to go back. By one stroke, directly he will be going to the abode. Krishna's abode. Directly is entering into.
By one kick.
By one kick, no. One stroke, actually, I'm confused. I forgot that word. That is the beauty of the bhakti. One has to understand the glory of the bhakti. So bhakti is completely transcendental to all the sadhanas. karma, jnana, and yoga sadhanas, whatever are there, it's beyond, it's a powerful, and it is the ultimate, and it is the best, and it is the one and only. And all other sadhanas, whatever are described in previous chapters, in the first 6 chapters, in future also, charity, this rule, that rule, if you don't want of all these, just to take up bhakti. To take up bhakti, what you need? You need Shraddha. The qualification is Shraddha. What is Shraddha? The symptom of Shraddha is Sharanapatti, full surrenderance. If that is there, process is very simple. Very simple. If that is not there, then there are a lot of complexity.
Prabhuji, how one will assess that that element? How a person will assess? How a person will assess that he has that element, he has reached that element, or he has got that element? How
Which
that
element? Shraddha.
Yeah, that the line which you just now stated, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Shraddha. How one will get Shraddha? Shraddha will come from the association of these sadhus.
Okay, Prabhuji. नहीं मतलब वो अलग.
One second. I want to see. Actually, Baldev devotional comment I didn't see for this sloka. That's fine. Okay, enough. Over. Thank you. Next, I'll finish this. Next. So the power, that means that is the powerful sadhana, that is bhakti, devotional service. One can surpass all the rituals of the different orders of life. The word idam viditva indicate that one should understand the instructions given by Sri Krishna in this chapter and 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One should try to understand these chapters not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with devotees. So that's why it is needed acharyas and Srila Prabhupada's purports. Otherwise, people are simply speculating and they are taking the different meanings for the different. Here yogi is there, and there some other place yogi is meant for the non-devotees. That's the karmic gnani in the section 23 to 27. And before that also we are seeing. So that what meaning should be, we should take, how to understand. That should be followed. That for that we should follow. So devotees, that means our acharyas. So Srila Prabhupada and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushan, all these great acharyas. We should not try to understand these slokas by our mental or mundane scholarship, just by our Sanskrit abilities. Like that, many tried actually. So many people, they tried and they gave the so-called false or that means incomplete or otherwise improper or the mistaken or falsy philosophies. chapters 7 through 12 are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The first 6 and the last 6 chapters are like coverings for the middle 6 chapters, which are especially protected by the Lord. Okay. These first middle 6 chapters are very important. So this it's telling about the devotion, these 6 chapters. In that, we'll be seeing the Mishra Bhakti and Shuddha Bhakti in these 6 chapters. So in the middle 6 chapters, in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifice, charities, speculations, and etc. For one can achieve all the results of these activities simply by Krishna consciousness. Yat karma bir tapasa. That means whatever you are getting by karma, gnana, vrata, tapa, or yajna, or swadhyaya, that all the results you'll be getting just by Krishna consciousness. And if you want, but Krishna consciousness even can give the far, far better and highest benefit. One who has a little faith in Bhagavad Gita should learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee, because in the beginning of the 4th chapter, it is stated early that Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees. No one else can perfectly understand the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why it is very, very so important. This Bhagavad Gita has to be studied under the guidance of the great devotees. Not by the just, in the market, there are so many Bhagavad Gitas are available. But no, by studying those, one cannot get the real purport of this Bhagavad Gita slokas. One should therefore learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee of Krishna, not from mental speculators. This is a sign of faith. So this is a sign of the faith. That means belief in the Guru Parampara. That is a sign of the faith. So when one searches for a devotee and fortunately gets a devotee's association, one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. By advancement in association of the devotee, one is placed in devotional service, and this service dispels all one's misgivings about Krishna or God and Krishna's activities, form, pastime, name, and other features. So by studying this what in the sadhu sangha, in association of devotees, by regularly, so by studying the Bhagavad Gita, so then what will happen? Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati. One will be getting the proper Shraddha. Whatever doubts we have about the Lord's form, activities, pastimes, and so on, so all are dispelled. And after these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away, one becomes fixed in one's study. Then one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna consciousness. That's why Shraddha. How Shraddha is coming? By the association of the devotees. So that is important. In proper devotees association, if you develop the Shraddha and the Bhagavad Gita, so by studying again and again, then once properly Shraddha is established, then Krishna consciousness starts. That is the foundational step for the pure devotional service. If Shraddha is not strong, then our purity of the devotion is also not strong. So then that's why there is no quick progress. Quick progress means full surrenderance, means completely out of the bodily platform. Then how to develop that Shraddha? That is by the mercy of the association. That's why misgivings, giving up misgivings means asambhavana viparita bhavanas are out. And that asambhavana viparita bhavanas means, so whatever we are hearing from the authentic sadhu, so whatever he says, if you are not having the faith in that, rejecting that is known as asambhavana, and thinking something against that is known as viparita bhavana. These both are finished. by a continual associating the devotees and hearing from them the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and so on. In the advanced stage, that means, so okay, then one religious study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada felt he feels always Krishna consciousness everywhere and every time. So that's why it is a realized state. It's a realization of Srila Prabhupada. So this highest perfection stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to the Krishna's abode. That means one should feel in every moment. It's not that the only on the Sunday feast you will be remembering the Krishna and the whole week working in the corporate and working for the other employees and thinking pure devotion service is not correct. So one should feel Krishna in every moment. One should remember Krishna every moment, every fraction of second. If you are in that position and still working, I am not offending those people actually. I don't want to. But otherwise, if you are in that kind of dilemma, okay, I am doing 16 rounds enough. But whole day what I am doing, no need. No caring about that time. And thinking that, yes, I am advanced, I am following my seat is confirmed. Yes, your seat is confirmed after 10 lives. But because bhakti, if you do no loss, definitely it's a gain only. But if you want to go back to Godhead, what is the condition Srila Prabhupada is writing? Underline that line. The highest perfection stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to the Krishna's abode. Before that, he wrote, in the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. Okay, then one relishes the study of the Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna consciousness. Feeling always Krishna consciousness. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. Okay. This is the conditions. These are the conditions to go back to Godhead. Krishna consciousness is not so cheap actually. Doing so many offenses and so much careless about the remaining time and just hypothetically thinking or otherwise. Doing this much and expecting this. It's not. How much surrenderance you have. So this highest perfection stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to the Krishna's abode in the spiritual sky, Golok Vrindavan, where the devotees becomes eternally happy. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of attaining the Supreme. This is Bhaktivedanta purport. So this last paragraph is very much important. Write a question. Summarize the purport of BG 8.28, 8.28. Marks 5 marks. 5 salient points you bring out from this.
Prabhu, in this last line which you read, it's talking about that stages, na? That asakti stage and that bhava stage and ultimately the prema stage.
Yeah.
Like that.
What here main essence, if you summarize, what Prabhupada is saying in this whole paragraph, whole in the purport, first of all, he is saying that, so people, that means generally the Vedic system he explained in first 3 paragraphs. And he showed how it is difficult. So how? So it is difficult process. And so much conditions, terms are applied in that lifestyle, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. And all these rules and regulations, if you follow, finally you'll be getting either swarga or entering into the Brahmajyoti. So then, with one stroke, you can go to the highest target, highest destination you can reach. That is Krishna consciousness. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Even if you leave all these ashrama rules and regulations, all the varna and ashrama rules and regulations, you have to, first of all, so fact should be understood as a fact. That is the power of the devotion. One has to accept this. But in the practical life, how we are implementing, then since we are not able to have such a faith, then we have to take up this some karma, this, that all, that is the other thing that we don't want to discuss here. Here we want to understand the what is the reality. The reality is reality. No need of any varna and ashrama system. So if anyone simply is having what? If he is practicing Krishna consciousness fully, finish. So he is fully surrendered and fully just doing the only Lord bhajan. Then he is that such a surrendered soul doesn't bother about, no need to bother about any rules and regulations, any social rules and regulations. No. It's a revolution actually. Bhakti is a revolution in the life. And no other process is needed for him. And no need to think about any sin or any foundations. No. That is the beauty, that is the power of the bhakti. So that everyone should accept this. This is a fact. Then how to get such a bhakti? How to? For that we need shraddha. Next point is what? So this is shraddha one needs. Full shraddha one needs. That means leaving all the, that means shraddha means what? You have zero interest in the karma gnana and also any benefits, material benefits. That's the anyahabilasha sunyam gnana karma dhyana. And you have only the faith in Krishna. That is the meaning of shraddha. And fully, that means accepting Krishna is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So from there only, so that's how to practice that Krishna consciousness. Shraddha is the basic criteria. How to get that? When we give up that kind of shraddha, we can get by giving up the misgivings. By giving up misgivings. What is that? By what he wrote, Prabhupada wrote. Misgivings.
After these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away.
Misgivings. Misgivings means we might be having the doubt that maybe karma, if I don't follow my family traditions, I may get sin. Or I am indebted to the demigods, I am indebted to the devatas, I am indebted to this, that, pancha mahabhutas. Or otherwise, you might be thinking that, oh, I need to know the Brahma Gnanam also, I need to know this knowledge. So all these, so much is there in our consciousness. So much confusion, these are all maybe needed. These are all the misgivings actually. That means we don't have the pinpointed full faith in the bhakti. So then in that that maybe Krishna is only Supreme Personality. Who is Krishna? Who is Narayana? Who is best? Maybe Shiva is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. This, that, 100 things we might be having in the brain. And maybe sometimes just bead is going, that crowd is going, so I am also going. But sometimes in the inside thinking that how it is that, how it is, why not this, why not that, why this and why not that, asambhavana and viparita bhavana, why this and why not that. This will be there in every aspect many times. Why only Krishna, why not this Shiva, asambhavana and viparita bhavana. All these has to be clean. Then that is the Shraddha. Giving up, by cleaning off all the misgivings. So one will come to the pure devotional service. One will be coming to the pure devotional service. So then, and he is, that how to develop? That is possible by the proper association. By the advancement in the association of the devotees, one is placed in devotional service. And this service dispels one's misgivings. That's why the advanced devotees association is very important to give up these misgivings, to clear up these misgivings. So such a faithful person, he will be fully doing with full conviction is doing the pure devotional service. And with that pure devotional service, what is happening? One is feeling Krishna all the time. And he is falling in love completely. In love with Krishna. Then that person only will go back to the God. Okay, thank you very much for patient and kind hearing and giving the extra time. And this is my last day, so we'll meet in future. So in any other courses. So any questions are, and I have to actually tomorrow I have a journey to go to some other place. So I'm give maximum of 10 o'clock. So 20 minutes I can take questions. Yes, one question I can take quickly. Yes, Prabhu, Punya Shlok.
Prabhu, two very small questions. I don't have any ones there. Just one is, like we talked about Shuddha Bhakti, that there is no prescribed duties you mentioned. So I'm just trying to understand that stage. That person has left everything, all the duties, everything, and is just fully focused in devotional service, because we can also look at the example of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He was a grasta doing his duties and at the same time performing. So how to understand that, Prabhu? This Shuddha Bhakti stage can only be done one leaves everything and 100% doing devotional activities.
Yeah, so same that Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his Bhaktya Loka. So what he writes, so to purify one's consciousness, he will be following some prescribed duties given by the Varna and Ashram. So once, so if he develops the pure devotional service, even after that, he may, out of his sweet will, he may follow those prescribed duties. Out of his sweet will, that means he doesn't have any attachment for the result of that karma, or he doesn't feel that he is the door of that karma or that duty. Out of his own sweet will, he will be doing that. So that is also possible to set his example to the society, that's all. Otherwise, so like the Nishkama Karma Yogi, he is doing the karma, but he is not at all touched by the results of those karma. So in that state, like the Arjuna, he is fighting, but he doesn't have any attachment for the result of that fighting.
Yeah.
And also he is always remembering the Krishna. And such a state actually they are having. We should not compare so that stage actually. So that's the Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
So for normal people, they have to literally give up everything, and like for example, I mean,
no, normal people, they should not give up. Then they will. He also wrote in that actually in the Nimagraha. Just 1 second.
So it's all about the consciousness, really, Prabhu. It's nothing else.
Yes.
It's not a practical thing, because in Karma Mishra Bhakti, there is desire. So one is, yes, doing the prescribed duties and all that, and engage in the Bhakti. Bhakti is main. The other things are there to purify him, that slowly. And in Jnana, he's again following the Bhakti, and using Jnana as a means to perform his Bhakti. Whereas in pure Bhakti, one can be doing his prescribed duties, but the consciousness is not at all attached to the results of those activities. One is completely absorbed in Krishna all the time, no matter what they are doing.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is completely free from. So that means, like you, how we are seeing the Nishkam Karma Yogi, he's doing the karma, but still is not at all. So having any kind of the entanglement with that. So even sometimes pure devotees, they might be doing this, some kind of the prescribed duties. We might be seeing the case of the kings who are the pure devotees. So, but they don't have, that means any kind of the consciousness that this karma is needed for my bhakti, and this karma is supporting element for my bhakti, or otherwise. So any attachment for that result of that karma, that means any doer, I am the doer of this karma. So that kind of, and all the time their consciousness, even a single moment is obstructed. Apratihata is important, actually, the important point. The consciousness, even a single momentum, it should not be separated from the Krishna. There should not be any disconnection. So that is the state ahaituki apratihata. Apratihata means, so avyavadhanam, that means there should not be any separation. That means we want devotion, other things, no breaks,
Continuous flowing devotion.
yeah, that is a full Krishna consciousness, all the time feeling Krishna. That's why Prabhupada is writing in this purport.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why it's not really where we are and how much we should progress.
So it's the consciousness, doesn't matter which, that person could be in a varna, an ashram or whatever.
Yes.
That can be a pure devotee as well. But
no, not possible.
Yeah. So, but who has, that means who doesn't have Shraddha, and who doesn't have Shraddha, and also on Lord, and that kind of person has to do karma, because if he doesn't have Shraddha, and if he doesn't do the karma also, then what he will do? He'll do nonsense then.
Oh, yes, yes. So it's engagement. Engagement is like similarly with the varna.
Because karma is at least to protect him, actually. Karma means not doing the sin.
Yes, Prabhu.
Only two are possible, karma or the vikarma. Then he is not doing karma, but without doing the something, he will not stay. Then he will do the vikarma. And also not having this Shraddha. Then that will be the sinful life, actually.
Oh, one little one, last one. If we talked about one point there, that in the spiritual world there are what do you call it? The trees, the wish fulfilling trees. So they give whatever food items one desires and all that. So body is spiritual. That body doesn't feel any hunger, thirst, all those things, because those are the same qualities of Krishna. So then the purpose of those trees and to fulfill one's desires is only for Krishna's pleasure, or how to understand that, Prabhu? Someone may ask. So
it's like a Brahman philosophy. Brahman philosophy. There, everything is there. Spiritual world is, material world is a reflection of spiritual world. There also, so anger is there. There is also pride is there. There is also ignorance is there. So all are there, but all are spiritual. Radharani get angry actually on Krishna. Srimati Radharani.
For increasing the pleasure of Krishna.
Yes. And also there is all, Srimati Radharani prepares every day new item.
Yes.
And every time, which is all the time, she never go back to the already prepared item. So no repetition.
Because the food and everything from that tree also, that's
no tree.
So
she cook herself.
So spiritual, just by eating it, one can feel spiritual ecstasy. Is that right, Prabhu?
Yeah. So that means in the Goloka, so they'll be having all these That's the spiritual activities. They have spiritual body and they have so much, so varieties of the rasas.
But they don't feel hungry, or they feel hungry?
They will feel hungry also. Why not? But they are not tortured by like this. That's also because if we take out any things, then how the lila will be performed?
Yes.
Incomplete it will become.
It will be
Spiritual is not incomplete.
natural.
Yeah. Everything is there, but everything is spiritual.
Yes.
Demons also there, but the demons are also just like sometimes we make in the children when they play something, they make as a asura, and they treat them as asura and create that scene the same way. They also have that kind of asuras and do the pastimes.
But everything has life in it, right, Prabhu?
Huh?
Everything life in it. Like even the fruits and trees, and no, trees here also life, but everything is conscious. Even the water
Everything
is
is conscious. Everything is chit. Everything is chit. Chintamani prakara sadmas. Kalpuraksha. Yes. Next. Vanshipriya Mataji.
Prabhuji, I had a question regarding the same Kevala Bhakti, practice of Kevala Bhakti. So one thing I am
Clear, na?
completely convinced, yes, I am convinced that just doing corporate job and thinking that one will be practicing some kind of devotional service, though I keep
I'm
on
not saying
thinking,
the corporate job is wrong, but there is a lot is there to progress. So that is the important thing, where we are and where to reach. If we don't know, then it will bring some kind of satisfied, okay, done. I have done for my life enough. That should
today
not be
only
there.
I asked my counselor that how to convert into full-time devotee, because this is going to quench me in my heart then.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, Mataji. Yeah. So Archana Bhakti Mataji.
Prabhuji, about same topic, Prabhuji. So it's not really about whether you're doing corporate job or you're doing some work related to Varnashram, like a farmer or whatever. It really comes to how Krishna conscious you are, isn't it,
Yes.
Prabhuji?
And
So
but
it's
the
not,
point is, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in that book. So since one doesn't develop the proper Shraddha and also at that time, so better to follow the sinless and simplified activity, so that consciousness will be cleaned actually. At least it maintained in the, that's what Prabhupada says at the end of his in that mic. So cities are filled with the mode of passion and ignorance. So any activity filled with the passion and ignorance, it will disturb the consciousness actually. That is only the point actually. So being influenced by that passion and ignorance, it's difficult to associate and develop the further Shraddha properly.
so here you're also talking about the stage of development of the devotee. So you're talking about a new devotee who has not yet developed Shraddha. For such a person, being in a corporate situation will be very unfavorable to progress in bhakti. But someone who is, you can say, who has that Shraddha, then Prabhupada also says, no material condition can obstruct Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Even if you see in the history, even a hunter also, they became pure devotees. Vyadha. So, but what will happen, one develop the proper bhakti, the symptom is he will be free from all this kind of comfort zone and the simplified life, and also which is abstract, which is destructible to the society. He will never do that. That is a symptom of the devotion actually. There's a caring for the everyone, every living entity. All the auspicious qualities will develop.
So one thing is to promote this type of lifestyle, corporate lifestyle. The other thing is to, like being a victim, like you are stuck in that situation. So do the best of the situation. So by your practicing Krishna consciousness, you can Krishnaize your consciousness even while being in that situation to the best extent possible. So someone who's already in that situation. And what you're saying is someone who's promoting such a thing, which is actually destructive, then that is not, that's not
yes
going to help.
So that's a destructive thing actually. So that is, and someone is victimized by the dhinata. If any situation bringing dhinata in him, that's good. And such a condition. So that's a definitely, only the thing is bhakti definitely is free from the all these states and conditions. So the only thing, the conditioned soul, how it is affected by the atmosphere, that is the point. So how much he is affected, and if it's really affecting him, then he has to change the condition. So that's a checkpoint actually.
Yes,
so that's
Prabhu,
why
thank you.
Better to have the good association. If one is having the powerful Krishna consciousness, and then he can be doing the, even the Rakshasas, there are devotees are there. Demons are also devotees are there. So that's possible actually. Even it's independent of any material state. But if that state is affecting the individual's consciousness, then they has to change that place. In the most of the cases, it is very much influencing the people's consciousness and the whole day. So that's why, so better to have such a good, that means maybe I'm not saying immediately, but if we have such a nice setup where you can always see the faces of the devotees, and you can always see the nature which is always in the mode of goodness. So you can remember the Krishna by seeing the trees, by seeing the water, by seeing the rivers, and by seeing the birds. And if we have such an environment, so it is very conducive. That is the point I'm saying.
And if not, then having association like this, where we are actually discussing Krishna Katha and increasing our Krishna consciousness in this, like as much as possible, increasing the time of the quality of our Krishna consciousness.
Yes, that's we can do. So, but the target is very big. That is, fully Krishna consciousness all the time.
By this it is possible. By doing this and increasing this, then one can come to a state where I'm just saying this, I'm not saying that this is possible for everyone or not, but there are examples of devotees who are in that situation and still they're able to maintain that type of consciousness. Certainly, as you said, that dhinata is there. They're always hankering for association. Every little bit of association they get, they value that. But nevertheless, for whatever reasons, they are stuck in that situation. But they're able. So the point is, you're also saying the same thing, that Krishna consciousness is transcendental. It is, unaffected, but it depends on the level of advancement of the devotee, how Krishna conscious he is. So certainly for someone who's in the initial stages, or even at any stage actually, being in an unfavorable situation is always a very dangerous position. But at the same time, being in a dangerous position gives you an opportunity to sincerely call out to Krishna. It puts you in that helpless condition to call out to Krishna. So that aspect is also there. But I understand
that is for the advanced devotees. So because otherwise, if Krishna started testing the new devotees, then they ran away. So that's why Krishna never give the such a difficulty position actually. So that's why even one is in advance, so he can, even Prabhupada went to the US and he is traveling in the cars, Rolls-Royce cars, and also he's meeting the traveling in aeroplanes and meeting the big people, no matter so they are, but he's always in Krishna consciousness. That means he was saying himself actually, he was chanting 24 hours. So that's why no matter he is not in the Vrindavan, but he is fully Krishna conscious. If someone is like that, then so no problem. But Acharya recommended the lifestyle, simple living, high thinking. One has to, so communities, and it's not so easy for us. So in this city life, and people one has to come to the so agrarian, simple, village based, and so where the conduciveness is there. That's a mode of goodness, so that the deviation will be less because of that. So because we are all affected by the nature. Bhakti is not affected, but we are affected. Jivatma is affected. That's why.
Correct, Prabhuji. Yeah.
When on the
Agreed.
Jivatma, the influence of Bhakti is fully is there, then that Jivatma is not touched by this. But that on that Jivatma, influence of Bhakti is not fully is there because of his offenses or something, then that Jivatma easily affected by the external conditions, and in that time, so he cannot practice Bhakti. That's the point. So, okay. Sita Mata.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Vancha before everything, and any offenses from our side, please forgive us. And thank you so much for giving such a wonderful class. And the most important thing, what I learned from you is how to analyze a shloka line by line, word by word. And that way you have taught us. That's a wonderful thing you have taught us, Prabhu. Before, we never used to think in that angle only. We never knew that angle to read the way you have taught us to read. That's a wonderful thing we have learned from you, and we are so grateful for that, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Mataji, please give your blessings. And whatever I presented here is a simply copy, and it is from the Prabhupada's purpose and also from the previous acharyas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Before, we never knew, Prabhu, that this is how we have to read. We always used to read. We used to understand what is given. The makki ka makki. That's it. We know only that much. We never knew that each and every word should be read so scrutinizingly like you. See, you, I somehow understand what you speak, and when you read that, no, from the Sanskrit. That was wonderful. That is how we can remember also what exactly it means. What is the internal meaning of that, and what is the external meaning of that? Two are there to be understood. No, that analyzing power was not there before. Now we some little bit learned from you. Hope that will help us to.
Mataji, please learn little Sanskrit actually. Little Sanskrit. So some enjoyable Sanskrit grammar books are there with me. I can post in this group. Learn little Sanskrit. It's not that they're making scholars is not the big thing. That's not our intention. Many times our society think that, oh, if you learn Sanskrit, then you'll be out from the movement, this, that. But that's not the fact. So if you learn little Sanskrit, Mataji, it will really help.
Actually, the bhava, what the Sanskrit word gives, no, that sometimes doesn't match in English also.
Yeah. So word to word, and also we can feel more the precise meaning of that, and so that what will happen, the intentions of Srila Prabhupada's lines will be very clear for us then.
That is what
his meanings will become very clear, Mataji.
We got from you only. That is what I said. We are grateful to you and thankful to you for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So I can share those files. So I hope some. You can also.
That will be very nice.
Yeah. Next,
really appreciate.
Yeah, that will be very, very nice, Prabhuji. I also went through to read each and every word of that NOD chapters, Bhav wala chapter, each and every word I went through that. And this strategy and approach of reading and learning, I will follow.
Okay, Mata, thank you. So, Ramchandra Prabhu, final 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Just a quick question. When we say that the living entity, when they get free from this world, and then when they merge into the Mahavishnu's body, so when we came to material world, like we came through the glance of Mahavishnu, and then we if somebody goes back to Mahavishnu's body, so my understanding, the change is only that avidya is removed, and he developed the relationship with Mahavishnu so that he can go back and stay there, right? Or what else get changed? Because initially we were in the body of Mahavishnu, came here, and then we go back there and stay there forever. So what is the change there? It's just the avidya that get removed?
Yeah, the difference is, so conditioned Jivatma always goes inside and comes out. In that case, Jivatma is always with the avidya. It's covered with the avidya. So, but in the case of the Jivatma, which practice the yoga, so that Jivatma gone merge, then that will never come back. That's the point.
Okay, sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, Prabhu, Punya Shlok, Prabhu. So I'm winding up here. So because today morning I have early morning train, so otherwise I'll miss my train. So that's why I'm not able to take my this last chapter also I could have taken, but I got some emergency work in my hometown, so that's why I should go there. That's needed, and that's why I was not able to take. And I requested Prabhuji Jai Damodar Prabhu, so he arrange a new teacher for you. So for tomorrow, 9th chapter to teach that, Dear Prashant Prabhu will be coming. So Dear Prashant Prabhu will be teaching. So, okay. So thank you very much. And Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo
कृपा
vacha
सिंधु
patitanam
बचा
pavanebhyo
पतितनाम
vaishnavebhyo
वैष्णव
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi,
Gaur
Hari
Premanande,
Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna,
much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.